Hey everyone, I hope you all had a great weekend. I'm going to go over this week's assignment with you. Last week, you guys listened to episode 1 of season 1 of the podcast Serial, and you were introduced to Adnan and the crime he was accused of committing. And you also learned about his alibi. And as you learned, he didn't have much of an alibi, at least not enough to get him out of being convicted of the crime. Well, this week, Sarah Koenig, who's the narrator of the podcast, is going to dig deeper into the crime that he's been accused of committing. And they're going to look at Hay and Adnan's breakup. So let's talk about your assignments for this week. Number 1, make sure you keep answering the daily attendance questions. They will post each day by 8 a.m. Then you need to listen to episode 2 of the podcast. I have attached a YouTube video of it, but you can listen to it on any podcast app for free or on Spotify for free as well. Now you have 2 assignments to complete for this week. And this time I'm not posting them in the class stream like I did last week. I feel like I'm overwhelming you with all the stuff I'm posting there. So this week, to find your assignment, you're going to need to click on classwork. Now, if you're accessing Google Classroom from your phone, classwork is going to be at the bottom of the screen, but you can do the same thing. All right, so I already have all my daily attendance questions this week ready to go. On yours, you're only going to see one. All right, so Serial Week 2, April 6th through April 10th. That's this week. The first assignment you're going to do is episode 2. You can do this assignment. I would probably do it while you're listening to the podcast or after you've listened to it. Let me click view assignment. All right. So, in this episode, the narrator, Sarah, she's addressing 1 or 2 central issues of this case. One of the big problems or things that was talked about when the case was actually in court. So we might call this a topic or a theme. For this assignment, you're going to determine what her main focus is in this episode, as well as determine the credibility of others in this episode. Now, I have attached, not the assignment. No, I attached assignment. Never mind. Never mind. So here are all the directions on how to make a copy. If you look over here, I did something different this week. It's automatically going to make you a copy of each assignment. So you'll just click on it up here where it says your work, and you will be able to start typing in it automatically. You don't have to make a copy this week. I fixed it where it automatically make a copy for you, and you can type. All right. So the first thing you're going to do, you're going to try to determine what the primary focus is, and you're going to write down 1 or 2 things. Then while you're listening, you're going to take notes on these different people. On the state, on Hay, Aisha, Becky, Adnan, so forth. Just take some notes about them. Doesn't matter what you write down. Just write down some of the things they say and talk about and what they think about the focus of this episode. All right, the next thing you're going to do is you're going to determine how credible each person is. So like the first one here is Jay. You're going to rank him from 1 to 10. 1 being you don't trust him, 10 being you trust him completely, okay? And then you're going to explain why or why not you don't trust that person. And you'll do that for several people. All right, and the last thing you're going to do is part 4. Based on the information you recorded above, what's your conclusion? Do you think Adnan asked Hay for a ride home? Why or why not? How important do you think it is? Answer this in at least a well-developed paragraph, 4 to 5 sentences, please. All right, going back to classwork. All right, so your second assignment of the week is titled, Is That Crazy? All right, so you're going to determine if some things are crazy or not, and then you're going to analyze the state's narrative against Adnan. And for this one, I've just attached an episode, the podcast episode. I didn't attach the transcript because it's on the previous one if you need it. Again, you'll click on the assignment. I fixed it where it'll automatically make a copy for you. Right, so you guys all know more about the average high school student than I do. I graduated from high school a long time ago. So what you're going to do is you're going to go through, and each of these activities or items, you're going to rate it on a scale of 1 to 10. 1 being totally normal, 10 being off the charts crazy. Okay? And if you want, you could take some notes about it or about what happened in the podcast of this incident, because these are all things from the podcast, from this episode. And then you're going to answer in a 5 to 8 sentence paragraph. Based on his behavior, is there sufficient evidence that Adnan was enraged, obsessive, or in any way strange or extreme in his reaction to his breakup with Hay? Or does the state's narrative seem fictional? Does it seem like the state's making up the things they're saying about Adnan? That's your opinion. You just have to use evidence from the podcast to support your answer. Alright, so these are the only 2 assignments that you guys have this week. Once you answer them, you'll upload them to Google Classroom or share the document with me. All assignments are due Friday at midnight. I'm also attaching the Remind 101 code in your stream. If you haven't signed up, please sign up for Remind 101. The YouTube video of the episode is here. The transcript of the podcast is here. If you guys have any questions, just put a comment on Google Classroom, email me, or you can text me through Remind 101. Good luck.